Hello and welcome to Walk the Pod, your daily walking show where I take my podcast for a walk because I don't have a dog. My name is Rachel Wheely, walking my local streets in southwest London and tempting you away from your desk this lunchtime to walk in nature for just 10 minutes and be amazed by how much better you feel for doing so. This is our first Friday episode of Series 54, in which we are discussing our theme of inspiration. And today I'll be rounding up what we've covered this first week and paying attention to what I can see directly in front of me, as always. Welcome along to Walk the Pod. The Walk the Pod Lunchtime Walk Club have done a blinding job of choosing a theme this series. Very, very fascinating it has been so far. We've had 4 episodes already this week in which we have covered how inspiration is based on inhalation. It's about taking a sharp intake of breath in some ways. We discussed how it is an unsustainable state of transient sort of feeling that we can achieve anything, but we can't hold on to that feeling forever. Thanks to Hills for the voice note on that. We even covered Friedrich Schelling, a German philosopher's reflection that ideas provide action of energy and significance. And I enjoyed that because I was thinking about it and thinking, inspiration does definitely have something to do with the idea being meaningful to us. It's not just an idea, because I could have an idea for a brilliant series of ice cream vans. Doesn't mean I've got the wherewithal, the time or the money to actually launch it into a viable business. And so whilst I might have that thought, I wouldn't feel inspired by it because I would have no desire to actually follow it through. Do you see what I mean? So inspiration is very much about having an idea which actually resonates with what you want to do in the world and the dent you want to make in the universe. And I was wondering whether when Douglas Adams wrote The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy back in the 70s and changed the name of the protagonist to Arthur, whether he was actually trying to make a funny satirical joke about how he was putting a dent in the universe, because Arthur is, of course, Arthur Dent. So a dent in the universe is exactly what Douglas Noel Adams was writing when he penned The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And how lovely, how funny if that's what happened. But we'll never know because we don't get to ask him. All of which is a massive tangent away from what I was actually trying to do, which is to cover the first few episodes of topics on inspiration, the theme that we're exploring this month, what we've talked about in the series so far. And the final thing I wanted to mention was yesterday's episode, where I was talking about stealing like an artist. It's an odd thing for somebody to encourage you to steal things, and bear in mind that I don't mean it's fine in all circumstances, but I do think we need to relax a bit about the fact that everything that we create is going to be derivative of something else. That is okay. It's not something to feel ashamed by, or to feel that somehow our work isn't as good because it isn't a completely unique thought and a completely new creation that nobody's ever attempted before. Of course it's derivative of other things. How could it not be? I'm very excited to find out where we go with the topic next week, and as usual, much more interested to know what inspiration means to you than all the things I can dig out of the internet. So go to walkthepod.com, press the button mark, leave a voice note for Walk the Pod, and SpeakPipe will allow you to record 90 seconds of your beautiful voice for me. If you prefer to type, you can do. You can type an email to walkthepod@gmail.com. And I'll include all the thoughts I get over the weekend in the show next week. What can I see directly in front of me? Well, I don't mind telling you, dear friends, it is absolutely Ms. today. You know, I'm always going on about how rarely it's Ms. on my walks, and how actually you can, if you can be a bit flexible, you can often have a walk on the most beautiful day in the world. Not today, I'm afraid. It is cold, it is raining, it is wet, it is damp, it is absolutely minging. Is really the only way to describe it. Do not recommend walking to you today very much, but we walk in all weathers on Walk the Pod. That's one of the things that we commit to. So I am out in all weathers all year round, and you can take it or leave it. Sometimes walk, sometimes not, and that's up to you. But I'm here day in, day out, a brave soldier on the pavements of Britain, just trying to do my duty as a podcaster and a citizen, to encourage you to get out when you can, when it suits, and when it's the most beautiful day in the world. Completely understand you're not going to want to go walking on a day like today. Why would you? The pavements are damp underfoot. There are raindrops on every leaf as I walk past. You can see quite a lot of entertaining little statues in the gardens left and right. It started to rain a bit more in earnest now. Everything is looking damp and a bit soggy and sorry for itself. But even when it's damp and even when we feel sorry for ourselves, what we do get on a lunchtime walk is a little bit of fresh air. So I'm encouraging walking even in the wet and the miz and the cold, just for the fresh air. And I can hear the distant sound of sirens, so I'm very aware of my inner city, or at least suburban location today. And it's bin day, so congratulations and happy bin day to all those who celebrate on a Friday. Got the big black wheelie bins and the big black wheelie bins with the blue lids out today. That's the general waste and the paper and card recycling, if you're interested. And alternate Fridays we do plastics and metal. So that's how fancy we are here in Mordor. And lovely John, who lives on up my end of the road, puts all the bins back. How nice is that? Halfway down the road he goes, putting all the bins back. Very lucky to have a lovely neighbour like that. And there we go. That's the end of a week of Walk the Pod podcast episodes. The end of week 1 of series 54. Thank you for walking with me, dear friends. It's been a delight to stretch my legs with you this lunchtime, as always. Honestly, I would not be going for walks if it was not for you, so thank you. Look forward to another week of episodes next week. And then we're going to be moving on to series 55, would you believe it? And on we go. Take care of your beautiful mind, yourselves, and each other. Have a lovely, restful weekend. If you'd like to have a look at my Friday photo dump, I will be uploading it later on Patreon. So you need to go to patreon.com/Rachel Wheely. See you next week.